Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I thought I'd do part two of the prepping video, but today is going to be about other things other than food to start prepping. But first, I wanted to start off by saying thank you to everyone who comments on my videos, especially the original prepping. I really appreciate the comments and the feedback. And a few of them really make me stop and think about how I think about prepping and what other people go through, and sometimes it just opened my eyes a little bit more, and I really appreciate especially those people that are really kind and respectful, that want to get their point across but are still considerate of other people. So I just wanted to say a big thank you to everybody. And yeah, so we don't know what other people have been through. We don't know their situation and why they start prepping. And so the amount that people decide to store will depend on the size family they have. And also something that you don't really think about too sometimes is that people will also help start preparing for family that doesn't even live with them. Maybe they're adult children that don't live with them, but they know they're not into this, so they will do a little extra because they know at some point they're probably going to end up having to help them. And yeah, so I just wanted to mention that anyways. So anyways, okay, so this is what I do with, first I did also want to mention two things that I did neglect from my last video that I think are very important things also to store at home is water. Water is a huge thing. Yeah, definitely I get cases of water and money, to keep money around your house. You never know if the debit machines are going to go down. We can't get to our banks, and you need gas or this or that or whatever the case is. You know, grocery stores are only going to take cash. Just there's multiple things anyways. And I would definitely keep in your cash that you do keep at home. Keep some smaller, don't just get 50s and 100s, get like, you know, the 5s and 10s and so on, right? So those are just my thoughts on that. And if you have any others, please let me know in the comments. But okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of stuff to go through. So I will start with the bigger stuff that I have, so I can get them off the table. One of the items is distilled water. This is not a necessity for most people, but if you have like a BPAP, CPAP machine, that's something to stock up on. I usually have about 6 of them laying around just for my husband's machine. Vinegar, great for disinfecting and as well your canning. Okay, what would be next? Oh, so I also went out and got inexpensive, this one's actually Christmas tree lights, but they're solar power. And I have another set of just the ones you would decorate your outdoor patio with, and they're also solar powered, just in case ever like the hydro was out for many different reasons, out for a few days. You wouldn't want to waste all your battery power on that, so just another option. And like I think this one was maybe $10 or something like that. Okay, toilet paper. We all know about the toilet paper issue we had a few years ago. I always keep at least 2 of the 30 packs in the house at all times, sometimes more. And of course, paper towels if you use them. I actually almost forgot to mention this, baby wipes. If ever, say there was no water or very little water and stuff, baby wipes are great. I actually, on a regular basis, keep a stack of them behind the toilet anyways, just for whatever reasons. But I always like to get a box of these, and they usually last me 1 to 2 years. like the really large boxes, and I just thought that was a good item to add. The clothes pegs. We just recently got a clothesline put up in our backyard. We have had on multiple occasions something happen with our dryer anyways. We could wash and hang our clothes up without needing hydro. So that was something that we did not have for a long time, and I've just probably the last 2-3 years we've looked into it. One thing, food related again, don't forget about your pets. Stock up on animal food as well. Okay, socks and underwear. I always like to keep extra on hand. Not only I had heard, I think it's a good year ago, that the cotton prices was going to be going up because of the drought or whatever it was that was the issue. And so I had started stocking up on socks and underwear. So, but I wanted to know your guys' opinion on this part, because I figured if anything actually did happen and food became a little more scarce, we would probably all end up losing a lot of weight. But what do you guys think about buying different sizes of underwear and clothes? I don't want to waste too much money on buying like all the different kinds of sizes, but I just kind of wanted to get other people's opinion on that, especially because, you know, like underwear is not cheap these days, right? So, okay. The other thing that I like to keep a lot of is Dawn soap. It's obviously good for dishes and stuff, but it cuts grease really well. But if you ever needed to get grease out of anything, I like to have lots and lots of this. I have a couple small bags of Epsom salts. So these are great for many reasons. So that's something that I keep in my kit. Playing cards, games for the kids. Hydro goes out for a couple of days. The kids might actually spend time with you. And so, yes, we have a few games and stuff like that. Okay. Oh, here we go. We'll do cast iron. If ever you couldn't cook inside the house, you had to cook over a fire, cast iron will be your friend. I bought this, I think, like for $1. This is just one of the small ones. I do have a few larger ones. You can buy these at the used store and learn how to take care of them, because they will rust if you, in certain situations, and learn how to cook with them as well over an open fire before situations happen. Extra shoelaces. That would be awful if you had to travel anywhere and walking and you didn't, oh, these are coming unraveled. These I think I bought at the dollar store for like $1.50 and stuff, but you can buy extra shoelaces anywhere. Duct tape. Not actually duct tape, but yeah, the other duct tape's misplaced. So, but yeah, duct tape is, you definitely want to have a couple extra of those laying around. I bought some super glue. I just bought these at the dollar store. I think this would be important to have. I have 2 or 3 containers of these laying around. Extra canning supplies. This will be very, very important to make sure that you have lots of these. I usually buy packs of either 150 or 200 from Temu. That seems to be the cheapest place that I know of. I used to just buy them at the dollar store, but they're kind of getting up there. So that's where I found as the cheaper place, and the quality of the ones that I have had have been really good. So I have no complaints about that, just for your information. I almost called these batteries because I looked at this. Okay, so obviously batteries of all sizes. We have, you know, AA, AAA, and these small batteries. I'll tell you why I have those. Yes, so lighters and matches. Is that upside down? Right? Yes. Okay, so obviously there's many purposes for these, right now we have a gas stove and one of the burners will not light on its own, so we always have these, but I probably have 10 of them in containers for just in case as well. And if you do have matches, make sure you have waterproof bags that you can put them in just in case. Feminine supplies. Very important to keep a little stock of those, or a big stock, depending on how many females you have in your family or that you're stocking up for. Rope, twine, that kind of stuff. You never know what you could use those for. And let's see here. Okay, glasses. If you wear glasses like me, if you can, they're expensive. But if anything ever happened, yeah, that would be a hard one. I don't think that I could see very far if I didn't have my glasses on. Now, these are prescriptions. Transition, they change every so often, so it's kind of hard for this. I'm just putting it out there. My husband sometimes needs this kind you can just get from like the dollar store. I have to put him in these bright packages so that he can actually find them, but he just needs a little extra help. So if this is the kind, then it's easy. It's not a problem. They're like under $2 to be able to get these. So I'm just throwing that out there in case, you know, you're in that situation. Okay, we got polysporin. That is a good one. Preparation H. Obviously, Band-Aids of all sizes. Gauze, same thing, all sizes. Tape to go along with that. What else do I have in that article? Oh, this is insect bite cream. That will be a really good one because you'll probably end up spending more time outside if, you know, the bad things happen. Let me see here. Okay. Creams for sore muscles and stuff. This one's the ice, the cold one, but there's all sorts of muscle pain creams and stuff. I have a couple of these. I don't keep huge stocks of these, but these are the polysporin pink eye treatment. They're also for swimmer's ear and stuff like that. So because it's medicated and it's liquid, it doesn't last forever. It loses its potency. So, but I like to have, yeah, this one's already a little bit past date, but yeah, I have a child that gets pink eye every so often. So I prefer to have one of these on hand rather than having to go to the doctors all the time. So I like to do that as little as possible. I don't know if I mentioned hard candies. If liquids are becoming scarce and stuff, you'll want to keep your mouth moist. Have some hard candies on there. I've also heard people say you could just suck on like a button or something to keep the juices flowing as well. Cough medicines. I have some liquids that I had started buying at the beginning when I was stocking up, and it was because there was shortages coming in with that, so I stocked up a little bit. So I had read recently, maybe within the last year, about how strong are the medicines, liquid versus the pills of the same medication, on how long they last if, say, you go past the best by date. And they had found that the liquid dissipates a lot quicker than the pills. The pills kind of keep its strength even, say, 10 years past the best by date. So that might be something to investigate for yourself. And so I do have liquid, a fair bit of actually liquid that I want to go through before I get the pills. But the last few years I've only been stocking up on pills. So I got Reactin, which I would say is such an important, I don't know, but the last, I would say 3-4 years, even though myself, my oldest son, never used to have allergies, we have been getting, I don't know, seasonella allergies or whatever. So I definitely have to start keeping this around. But also my son, just out of the blue, we were at my in-laws for a dinner, and he started to swell up, and his lips started to swell. He's like, oh, I feel weird. And he's never had like an allergy or anything to food before. Well, he did when he was really little, but that all got cleared up. But thank goodness my mother-in-law had some, because she has allergies to bees. And she had some on hand. So that fixed it. Turns out any kind of shellfish he can't be even near. He wasn't even sitting at the table. It was just because it was in the same room as him, and he started to swell up. So this is something that I make now. Him carry a pack in his work lunch, and I'm going to keep some in my purse as well for just in case. That would be the scariest thing, to be out somewhere and that can't happen. So this, just a suggestion. It can pop up at any time. Like I said, it was just out of the blue, and he wasn't even eating it. He was just near it. So that, sorry, long story there. Diarrhea relief. If ever our food habits had to change, you can be sure your stomach is going to be upset. So that might be something really good to keep on hand, as well as Tums, or one or the other, whatever works best for you. Oh, this is just a no-name brand of, I actually buy, kind of go with what's cheaper, because I don't think it matters too much. Just get the Equate brand, whatever's cheaper. Tylenol, Advil. I got an anti-nausea as well. Calamine lotion. For colds, I buy the Vape Rub. Yeah, self-explanatory why for that. No name brand of Tylenols. Alcohol, rubbing alcohol, sorry, and peroxide, sorry, lost the name there. I keep a couple bottles of these. I actually have these I got some pump ones that if you just need to spray on it, and then I'll just buy these kind of bottles and I'll just refill those. I think that's a really great idea. Okay, then we will get into the bathroom stuff. So razors, I get male, female razors. Deodorants, male and female. I'm stocking up on bars of soap. This I have a ton of. I actually started stocking up on these before the prices jumped, so I'm so happy about that. But these will last longer than the body washes and stuff, and they take up a lot less room. And then just make sure that you have a container to put them in if you have to travel, or Ziploc bags or something like that. Floss. So I buy them individually, and then I have a couple that are in the roll. I just have eyeliner for myself. Not a necessity by any means, but if ever I couldn't have any other makeup, at least I would love to have a little bit of eyeliner sometimes. Least of our worries if anything happened. I got these steel wools from the dollar store. If ever we had to cook outside and stuff, you're going to need something a little tougher, but these ones don't actually scratch. So I really like those. Okay, we got nail clippers, emery boards, toothbrushes, toothpaste, hand creams. I do have the bigger pumps, but I also have a couple hand ones. Already talked about that. Oh, garbage bags. Whoops. This is a necessity. And there's so many different, obviously, I don't need to explain that to you guys. So I have one more thing here to explain. But first of all, what I do is I went to the dollar store and I got these clear totes, and then I label them with what it is. I'll have toiletry, miscellaneous, what else? Medical stuff. And these are, what were they? 15 quart, I think. I think it's labeled on one of them. Anyways, so I find that better. And then what I do is I just find a corner and I'll stack them all that's out of the way, because this is for just in case, right? So it doesn't need to be in the way. So the other thing that I'm going to suggest is to get some popsicle sticks. Now, the reason for this is, I'm going to tell you a little story here. And now I'm no doctor. My husband's not a doctor. But my husband broke his finger 2 months ago at work. He did it himself. He instantly knew that he broke it, and he didn't go to the doctors. What it was is he broke the right in here, and everyone's going, go to the hospital, go to the hospital. He's like, no. He goes, my wife will fix it for me, right? Of course, I can't help tell I've never done it, but so we came home. Shar, I broke my finger. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, no, you didn't. And he goes, yeah, I did. Because he didn't go to the hospital or anything. So what happened was he dropped something. I think he said it was only about 50 pounds, but what happened was of where he did. And yeah, so anyhow, I won't get into anyways, it was a break. So what we did was we washed it completely. Now, I also should tell you that he has some medical background. He has to take all these courses for what he does for work and stuff like that. So he does know the basics of that. But so what we did was we, first of all, did like the where's the break and stuff like that. So what we did is we put a popsicle, we cut it down, we put a popsicle stick, we taped it around. We were watching because there was a little bit of an open wound here, made sure that was cleaned and covered and stuff like that. Anyhow, so I'm not suggesting anyone do this, but I'm just saying if anything ever happens, that this is an option. It wasn't like a major break that we, had to go. We kept an eye out for it turning black and stuff like that. He knew everything like that to look for. So it was more cleaning it. And then after it started to heal, I put some essential oils on it to help it heal faster and stuff. Anyways, it turned out fine, healed properly. It's all good. So that's just an in case one. It's not my first thing to say to anyone, don't go to the doctors for this, because, but that's just something that we had learned, and we did, and it turned out fine. But we also knew that, if it did turn black, hospital we went. Okay, so that's just a little story there. Anyways, the last thing I'm going to show you is my son has type 1 diabetes. So the fear of if anything happened to our supply system it scares the crap out of me. It really does. So I started stocking up on, I always had a little bit of a stock for his stuff, right? Like I always had probably a couple months supply, right? But once that thought of the possibility of it not being there at any point given time, it scares you, right? So I started stocking up on, like, this is just a small portion of what it is, but I always have one sitting here, of his ketone test. When you have type 1 diabetes, you have to test for ketones, which, little needles. I have extra kits and stuff for testing and stuff like that. And yeah, just all sorts of stuff. And that's why the smaller batteries as well, they're for the kits and stuff. So yeah, if you have a medical issue, you also want to stock up on that kind of item as well. And I don't know about prescription drugs, how far ahead that you can get of those. If anyone knows about that, I would love to hear, because I don't think in Canada we can get like too far ahead in that. And yeah, so that was just some of the items. Obviously there's way more. Actually, one of the items, and I have to go, I think it's in our garage, but it's also a radio. It's a radio, and it's solar power, and it has a flashlight on it. And I'll show you that. I think there's one more video I'm going to do on go bags, and I'm pretty sure that it's in one of those go bags. But that is also something, I got ours off of Amazon. It was at the time roughly $55. And I haven't checked since. So, but anyways, if you let me know in the comments what you think of this video, and if I covered the majority of this topic. Like I said, you start small. Like when I started, I would just grab, and sugar pills. Sugar pills is also another thing that I stock up on for, especially having a diabetic. But yeah, I think I covered Yeah, so when I started, I would just grab one or two of these, right? These would come on for like $1 or whatever. You grab one or two extra deodorants when they're on sale and stuff, and you will get to where you want to be. And I just had a little grocery bag, and I would shove a few items every couple of weeks in there. And then when I got to a point where I didn't want it wasn't big enough, then that's when I started into the totes. So just start small and you will get where you want to go. Okay, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you got something out of this video. Let me know your opinions, and we will see you on the next video. Take care.